Hey Deadgrinners, this is Deadgrin and welcome to Deadgrin's Customs. And I'm bringing you something a little different from what I normally do. I know you guys are used to watching me make Dragon Ball related customs, but originally when I barely started making customs, the very first thing I started doing was actually 12-inch Marvel figures. Um, they sell them like in every freaking store. They're usually around $10, and depending on which one you get, but mostly $10. And I used to follow. Well, I mean, I still follow him. His name is there's a YouTuber named Paul's DIY, and there's also another guy named Nerd Museum. I've mentioned him before when I showed you guys my work in progress Red Hood, 12-inch Red Hood, and so when I saw them, they both did like a collaborative video where they ended up making a 12-inch Iron Joker. They're using the Iron Man. They both used the same Iron Man figure, and they both did different things to it, and that really inspired me because I'm a huge fan of the Joker. He's easily my favorite comic book character of all time. So I decided I wanted to make one, and I tried. Biggest difference between mine and theirs is that I really changed like the figure. Like I sculpted a lot of stuff for it, and yeah, I mostly sculpted things like that weren't part of the figure. Now, the original figure this was actually an Iron Patriot, and that's basically the way he looked. So what I ended up doing is that I sculpted using Milliput putty, the same thing I always use. This is how I started sculpting. Like I sculpted this part, like to make like a almost like a bow tie. I I sculpted these like parts right here, and some of the stuff right here on the sides. And these are actually sensors from a car, but they're mini sensors, and I put them down because I was trying to replicate the like the suitcase suit that the Iron Man uses in the second Iron Man movie. So I was trying to mimic that look, but at the same time, try to make it my own. And so I ended up doing this, and I recolored obviously the whole figure. He used to be blue, and so I laid down primer all over the figure, spray paint, and then I used acrylic paints to make the purple and the green, and then this like bluish, and then this yellow, and then to make it look more metallic, I dry brushed like a silver, like a really light like dry brush of silver all over the figure, and so you don't really see the silver so much as the gives it more of a metallic sheen. What was so cool that back then I didn't really know how to make these, how to take figures apart. So I didn't know how to take this guy apart. But in Paul's video, what he did was that he made a hole, and he ended up using one of these lights, and he made a hole in there, and he was able to enter it. I know that's kind of bright. And it looks like he has an actual, one of those power cells that Iron Man uses, like to power his whole suits. The makeup is based on the Heath Ledger's portrayal of Joker, and then when I also made him, I made a custom base for him, or because the figures come attached to like this cardboard, but I wanted to use it, to make something like to give him a background in case I ever, displayed him. I just painted it black, and I, just wrote some of my favorite lines. Let's put a smile on that face. Iron Joker, ha ha ha. Agent of Chaos. And then this is one of my own Joker cards that I like, that because I collect Joker cards, and I wanted to attach one to this, so I just took one of those sleeves that you use to collect cards. I cut one out, and then I, taped it on, and then I just put the card, and that way when you see him, like hosted with it, it looks pretty cool. You can see kind of thing. I was also thinking of making a iron Two-Face, like or even a really big, what's it called, the Hulkbuster. I was gonna turn the Hulkbuster into another Iron Joker, but I was gonna call it Big Joke. So there's, you can play around with a lot of these 12-inch figures. They don't have the best articulation. This guy only his arms swing, his head, I think, like looks down, and that's basically it. And then you can kick the thing, and then his hands they're able to move too. These figures, like I said, these figures weren't the best as far as articulation goes, but if you just wanted like a display piece or something like that, then these are great. I was really into making these guys. I made this guy, I made the Red Hood, I made a Crossbones. I'll show you guys some of the other ones later on in my as I post more videos, because sometimes I want to post something, but I don't I don't have a Dragon Ball custom that I want to show you guys or something. So I'll just show you some of the older customs that I made, so you guys can see how far I've come along, and also the techniques that I developed back then that are helping me out now making all these custom Dragon Ball figures. But yeah, guys, if you guys like this video, please hit the like button, share, subscribe, and make sure you Gallic gun that notification bell. Please go ahead and visit frankenculture.com, and also hit us up on Facebook. Frankenculture on Facebook, Frankenculture on Twitter, Frankenculture on Instagram. They're all over the place, guys. You guys can follow them on any of those platforms. Make sure you visit the website so you guys can see other content from other contributors from the Frankenculture website. And like I say, guys, if you guys are watching this in the morning, good morning, and for everybody else, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.